Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys watching the video today and spending some time with me. Always appreciate that. And guys, today we're going to be talking about why you should not use braid to fluorocarbon on a spinning outfit, which most people do. We have talked about this. I've done some videos on my intuitive angling channel. I'm not sure if the people on The Fishing Teacher, the viewers, have seen this, and I sort of wanted to make this more of a foundational approach on why I'm against this, and I'm going to sort of make the points of the advantages and disadvantages, so we're going to get into that in today's video. Also, guys, I just wanted to extend a big thank you from me and my family, everybody that's been supporting The Fishing Teacher by either subscribing to the channel, using my links in the description, or becoming a channel member. Anything that you guys are doing is really helping out, so I just wanted to extend that thank you from me and everybody here at the house. Much appreciated. Okay, guys, this is one of the probably the most controversial fishing topic I ever do, because I've done videos on this in the past and you guys may not have seen it. That's why I wanted to do the video, because we've never talked about it here in The Fishing Teacher. But the majority of anglers anymore use braid to fluorocarbon on their spinning outfits. They have a braided line main line, anywhere between 10 to 15, maybe 20 pound test, coupled up with either a fluorocarbon or monofilament leader. This is a trend that has taken hold because people have fell into the myth that this is the best way to do it, and it's not. And you've seen a lot of pros do this, and therefore you see a lot of people try to adopt that and pick it up. But I'm going to make the case why you just need to use straight fluorocarbon line on your spinning outfits. Now, I've experimented. This is something that I'm not just saying this to hear myself talk. I spent about 2 years experimenting extensively using braided to fluorocarbon on my spinning outfits. And I came to the conclusion after doing this for 2 years, it's not the way to go. I think it costs you strikes, the number of bites that you get. Because here's my points that I want to make why this doesn't work, why you don't want to use it. Number one is that when you're fishing clear water, and maybe not so much in dirty water, but if you're fishing clear water, water visibility over 3 or 4 feet, even if you have like a small diameter, low visibility, braided line, 10 to 15, 20 pound test, that is still highly visible in the water. Now you may have a 5, 10, 15 foot leader on that, but that line coming in the water, the fish can still see that. Now whether or not that takes away from the strikes, you can debate that, but fish are very aware of their environment. And when they see some line extending down in the water there, I think that acts as a strike deterrent. I mean, under a lot of different situations out there. And a lot of people will say, well, Randy, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, I see these guys up at, St. Lawrence River, all these Elite Series pros using braid to fluorocarbon, and they're catching 22 pound bags of smallmouth. Well, my rebuttal with that's not helping them get any more bites. They might catch 24 pounds of smallmouth with straight fluorocarbon, because that strike deterrent that we're talking about, I think, is real. I have noticed that in my own fishing. Another thing with that is you've got 2 weak links. You've got your braid to fluorocarbon knot that you have to tie and your mainline knot. And what I have seen take place with this, and I fished with a lot of co-anglers that use this setup, is that it makes people lazy because you don't want to retie as much. So let's say, for example, you're fishing a shaky head with a braid to fluorocarbon. You get hung up 4 or 5 times. Eventually your leader's down to this long. It makes that main line even more visible. And people don't want to take the time to retie simply because it's such a pain in the butt. A good braid to fluorocarbon knot, like the FG knot, takes a long time to tie. And it takes even a longer time to tie if you're out in the boat and the boat's got 2 foot waves rocking in it, and you're over 40 years old and you got to use reading glasses to see stuff, and then you got to tie your main line and your line onto your lure. It just takes a long time, and I think it encourages people to retie less. That is a big aspect of it. The third one on there is I want stretch in my spinning outfit. And when you're using braid to fluorocarbon, it reduces so much of the stretch. And I think that you can lose a lot of fish with that lack of stretch, because a lot of people that use braid to fluorocarbon also use a drag on their spinning reels, which is the worst thing you can do. You want to back reel all the time. I think a lot of people lose fish and break fish off simply because of the lack of stretch. I've told this story before, guys. I was fishing the US Open at Lake Mead 4 or 5 years ago, and I finished 7th in the tournament there, and that's a shared weight tournament where your co-angler's weight adds to yours. My co-angler broke off 2 fish that day I fished with him with Braid to Fluorocarbon because the fish made a quick run and it broke the knot. Either one of those fish, I'd have won the U.S. Open. So it cost me about $150,000 if my partner would have been using, straight fluorocarbon. He would not have broke those fish off. And another thing I'll sort of get into the advantages of straight fluorocarbon here. Now, the reason I like straight fluorocarbon is that it's invisible in the water. You don't have to worry about any strike deterrent as far as the braid. You've only got one knot to tie, so you're more encouraged to tie more, which I do. I'll retie 15, 20 times in a day with straight fluorocarbon line. I've got the slack, I've got the stretch in my line, which allows me to fight the fish a little bit better. And you're not gonna have any problems with loops and fluffs if you simply spool your line on right. Make sure that you don't fill it all the way full, leave about 1/8 of an inch gap. Spool it on the same way it comes off spool it on the reel the same way it comes off the spool of line, and make sure that you have a lot of wet tension when you're putting the line on, and you're not going to have any problem with that. I just think a lot of people have got sucked into seeing everybody else doing it, so they decide that they want to do it. But I can assure you guys, after my experimentation and the studies that I've made with it, I'm confident that, you're going to get a lot more bites with straight fluorocarbon. I'll probably do some more videos in the future on this because it is a big part of it. Same goes with baitcaster, guys. It's the same type of deal with that. So anyway, I just wanted to pass that along, guys. We haven't done one here on the Fishing Teacher. I'd highly encourage everybody to use straight fluorocarbon line on their spinning tackle. I use Seaguar and VizX fluorocarbon line all the time. I'll link it in the description of this video. I haven't had any problems with it. It works really good for me. So hope it helps out. See you guys.